game, I just want to, as always, thank my AD for getting me involved in these kind of games, and I thank all the people at this beautiful facility, and you know, the Illiches. I want to thank Dan Gilbert. You know, I got a chance to go for a little jog downtown. It just, this place is coming, and it's really coming, and people here were so good to us, and I want to thank our fans for showing up to set a record here, and a lot of Michigan State people. I think that's incredible, and that's kind of what you hope. And for the first time, you know, we're starting to win some games. We win these Hollis makeup games. I've been losing a lot of them over the years, but it seems like the more things we're doing this year, we weren't great, but I thought the game changed when we turned the ball over twice, and I think it's, as I told Cash, as good as he played is unexcusable. We had a 12-point lead, and we made a couple of just ridiculous turnovers, and they got a 3-point play and a dunk, and then they got another 3, and then they got hot and hit some threes, you know. But I thought if I looked for stars and heroes, Kenny Goins did an unbelievable job, and Tom, you know, everybody that doesn't like him, just amazing, you know. And yet at the same time, you know, we ran a big play for Miles that he got a 3 on. We ran 2 for Cassius after he had been struggling. I do think I know this team, and I think that, you know, I'm getting a little bit on the bench. Put me back in. I'm gonna make amends for it. Those kind of statements are always good statements. I don't know why. You know, you look at how well they shot. It seemed, and they still only shot 35%. But this shooting from 3, we've not defended the 3 well, and it's got to be my fault. For not putting a big enough emphasis on it. We're not getting a hand up, we're getting a hand up late. But Nick Ward saved us early. I think Kenny and Tom saved us late. And Cassius had an unbelievable second half. We looked a little tired. We were in a little bit of foul trouble, as they were too, and found a way to win the game. So that's all that matters. But the deal of the day for me would be to see that place so filled with a lot of green and white. I just want to thank everybody at this place, and I want to thank the treatment, and I want to thank our fans down here in Detroit. So.
Tom, the way Cassius finished the game, obviously you said he'd been struggling. Was any of that, you think, that he was playing at home, maybe he was putting a little too much on himself, and what changed in those last couple minutes, I guess?
Well, you know, let me think about this. You know, when you throw the ball away across your body 2 times in a row casually, I would say that's not doing that. And I think he knows it. And, but as far as the shots early, I mean, he was jacked this morning, you know, and we made a big deal about him being home. It's just, I think some people think I got to lay off. I've been too soft on him, because when I got him mad, he played a lot better. So I think we'll change the approach here a little bit. And, he went in with a vengeance in that last 10 minutes, and told me what he was going to do on the bench, and went out and did it. And you know, I think that's where you really don't understand players and coaches, because, I mean, we set up 2 plays in a row to go to him after he hadn't done anything, and he nailed 2 threes. We did the same thing at Rutgers, and he nailed 2 threes. You know, we did the same thing for Miles at the top, and Jaron hitting that big 3, that was another big 3. So I got a lot of faith in my guys. I just don't like when they turn the ball over, and I don't like the fact that we're not guarding the 3 like we need to. So some of that falls on me, some of it falls on them, and it'll be fun to try to fix it over the next 4 days.
Could you get an explanation on the Miles technical?
When you went to Goins, sorry.
Go ahead, I'll hit you, then I'll hit you.
The timing of that, why you wanted to go to him, what you were looking for, what you got out of it.
Well, you know, Nick played so well,
yeah.
Nick Ward, but he was missing those free throws. It became an epidemic a little bit. And, you know, it's a shame, because he's been working on it. He's been shooting pretty well. Last 2 games, he struggled a little bit. And we also talked about switching 4 and doing some things, because they were coming off those screens, and it was a war in there. And so we wanted to start doing a few different things with Kenny that we thought we could do. We even played Miles and Kenny some together at the 4 and 5. So that's why we went with Kenny, and we also thought that you know, maybe we get the ball to Jaron on the baseline some and get Kenny in the middle of that zone. I didn't think we attacked the zone great. Not bad, I say that, and, you know, we got the strangest team. I mean, I'm not real happy with my team. We shot 52%, 39 from the three. We out-rebounded them by 15. So I think we're doing more good than I think. It's just that the bad is glaring. Go ahead.
Any explanation on the Miles Tech?
Yeah, I think it got a little chippy out there, and I think he felt that the superstar should be able to handle himself, and he pushed off a little bit, I guess. And you know, it's okay. I kind of. I thought there was a time in the first half where we weren't taking it to them, and that was the only battle cry at halftime. So I was getting a little mad. I know who Miles is. I can handle that, and I think he can handle it too.
Coach, on that, you know, when in the second half it definitely felt like a rivalry game. It did get chippy. Guys were jawing. How do you think, or what did your guys show you kind of when it got to that point?
Well, that's what I said. We took some punches. I mean, they hit some shots in a row, guys, and you know, play started getting into it. And that's why I thank our fans, because we had more of them, and they rose up, and when we hit a couple of those threes, it changed. But you know, we're gonna have to learn. It's gonna get chippy at Purdue. It's gonna get chippy at Michigan. It's gonna get chippy at you know, Minnesota. I mean, last year we were playing to play. This year we're playing for something. And when you play for something, it's gonna get a little chippy. And I like the way we responded. I like Cassius getting, you know, telling me what he was going to do on the bench. I like that. I told him after that we got to get a little more dog in us now. That'll be the next step for us.
Were you concerned about Kendrick Nunn, if you would ever cool down at one point today?
Was I concerned whether he would? You know, I mean, he did hit some big shots, and yet he was, you know, 5 of 12. He kind of lived and died in the second half. They took a lot of threes. At one time, they had made 9 field goals, 7 of them were threes. And I thought a couple of them were pretty well defended, and I thought a couple of them he made some big-time shots. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, he started at Illinois and was a good player there. So, you know, I just didn't like the sense of urgency we brought to it until we put Tum on him. And then there was a double sense of urgency, and there wasn't much else that he did in the last 7 minutes as much.
You talk about Tom's defensive job there down the stretch, and I mean, really just kind of locking them up in those final 8.
You know what's really cool about this press conference? You guys are getting a little chippy too. Turn on HBO, we can swear and everything here. But Tom, the second half was dynamite. You know, he really was. He just don't appreciate. I mean, I thought he got a little under control. He turned it over too, but you know, he knows what he has to do. He knows why he's in there, and you know, I'll tell you, him and Cassius play pretty well together too. You know, so you might still see more and more of that. You know, McQuaid got in foul trouble, hit some shot. We forget about Langford. He played awfully good early, and then, you know, when they hit a few shots on him, because he was getting caught. We were supposed to circle under, and he was trying to go through those screens, and so that was a fault of his and ours that we have to change.
Oakland may beat you someday, but
yeah,
they've given you some wars, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good team, you know, and you know, I think this is one of his best teams, and you know, it's hard to figure this out, but when you play against your rival, when you got, you know, one thing noted for them, they got 4 seniors, and I think 2 of those seniors are 50-year seniors, and that experience makes a difference, and that's what we're always saying in our meetings now. If you get, you know, 3 and 4 year guys, they're going to be better than most freshmen. You know, Calipari sees that, everybody sees that. So, you know, I like the fact that different guys rose up. I like the fact that we didn't hang our heads. I actually kept my cool, and it was a good game for us to win. You know, we're coming off finals. I imagine they may be too, but it was a big game for us to win. Greg does a good job with his team, and those seniors, you know, and I think they're all left-handers too. So the only guy happy about that is Herner. He's back home drooling right now that those left-handers. Thank God we Didn't give him too many.
How
Take a
close is
couple
this
more.
team to being where you want it to be at? I know
Oh,
it's extremely early,
it's not.
but
It's not. And I don't know if that's good news or bad news. I mean, I gotta do something about it, but I think that I did, again, a poor job scheduling, because in those 6 games in 13 days, I didn't think we got to work on us at all. And I just can't. I gotta figure out a better way. And not who I play, just, you know, and we just need some time to get better. And yet, statistically, it doesn't say that. Just didn't think we were as smooth as we needed to be. I do think we have a lot higher ceiling. I think that's the good news. The Christmas for Tom Izzo coach teams has always been a big thing. The last 3 years, you know, Scrooge sent all that stuff from the Big Ten office, and we got to play more games in the end of December, and we just have no time to. This year we get a little time. We kind of made it so we can have a little time in there, and hopefully, you know, get back to old school. You know, NCAA doesn't say 20 hours. We can have 2 days. We can have, you know, practices like you're supposed to have, and I think that'll really help this team. And I think the players are hungry for it too.
Tom, it got real loud in here. Did you ever sit and wonder how loud it's going to be when, if, not when, you guys play here in March?
Well, I like the when better than the if, but whatever you say, Stoney, if you say if, I'll say if. If you say when, I'll say when. And I'll just blame it on you if somebody says he's getting cocky. But I think in general, you know, it reminded me of the Palace, of course, in 2000. But I just, this is so cool for Detroit. I mean, it's so neat to have a place like this and the places around here. And it's starting to feel like a city that's coming back to life. And if we can be a little part of it today, and we can be a big part of it in March, no one be more excited about it than me. I love coming down here. I got to spend a little time with Jim Caldwell last night, and that made my day because I got my football fix in, and he was staying at this hotel too, and he kept telling me to blitz those guys, and I didn't listen to him, so next time I might do that because we didn't do as good a job on those shots.
Anything else, guys? The fact that you saw Kendrick Nunn from Illinois, do you feel that gave you an advantage, or did that one you had to make you want to have more heart for him?
You know, Kendrick Nunn was a very, very good player at Illinois, you know, and he was a very, very good player today, you know. If his coach would let him shoot more threes and do a better job, I think there's no question we should, if I was his parents, I'd be a little upset with the coach, and aren't they all? Aren't they all? Yes, they are. I got a lot of them that are too, but yeah, I think Wright would agree. As long as we're both here, we might as well have some fun and have a little session here. But it's been a good rivalry, you know. They said, you know, I'm supposed to beat you if you didn't know that, and
That's bullshit.
yeah. I told you we'd get to HBO. I told you I'd get a little chippy. But I'm saying, you know, I mean, you know,
we got beat by the best team in the country with the best coach in the country today. There's no question about it.
I don't believe that. I'll tell you that. And I got a lot of parents that don't believe that too. So
send them to me.
Well, I'll let him talk, but I do appreciate, you know, him, his fans, what they did. The thing for cancer that he's done 2 years in a row has been awesome. You know, it's a lot of money to raise in a couple days. I don't think you realize how much work goes into that, but
it does. But the reason it's successful, because he comes.
It is. I wish that was true.
No, it's true.
I don't think I'll have one myself, so I can put the money in the Izzo retirement fund. But thanks a lot, guys.
Show up for that.
I know. I appreciate it, and good luck to you, Greg.